So I want to thank Tara for inviting me and Bob inviting me to do this little presentation today. And we thought it might be appropriate to talk about ways to boost your immune system as we are going into the cold and flu season. So I mentioned I've been in practice for more than 30 years as an acupuncturist and naturopath, and I am recording this here so that I can put it on YouTube and share it with my patients as well. So thank you for the opportunity to have this double duty presentation. And as you know, I have studied in a lot of different places around the world. My practice at the Redwood Clinic is across from Whole Foods in Berkeley. And I started out by doing Tai Chi Chuan, learning that in college, and started studying Japanese at the time. And how many of you do Tai Chi or have ever tried it? Tried it. Great. It's a slow motion martial arts exercise health form. And so my first years in college, I started doing that, and I continued doing it religiously for probably 10 years. And I think that's made a really strongly positive impact in my health. And over the years, because of that, it got me interested in more about energy and how energy moves in the body, how energy works in the universe, how it works in our bodies, how it works in the earth, and So I decided to study acupuncture as a result. So that's what got me started in acupuncture. I also spent 3 years in Japan, so I rewrite and speak Japanese. And then after traveling from Japan and through Asia for 2 years, as a low-budget backpack traveler where I got sick a bunch of times. I had Bali fever, which is like a really bad fever for a week or two. I had a bad cut on my foot from Sri Lanka on the coral. I was traveling through India and other places, and in Nepal. I went to the ER, emergency rooms, waited there for 5 hours. It's the same in a lot of places. And because my foot was swelling up, getting really huge. And I was worried about that. So I ended up taking antibiotics. It helped for a little while, then it came back worse. I checked myself into a hospital. I had IV because my whole leg was swelling. And then eventually after I left the hospital out of the danger zone, but it was still bad, I was talking to some other people, and they said, well, you should go see Dr. Manavacharya. He's an Ayurvedic doctor, and all the Europeans go to him in Kathmandu, which is where I was staying. So I went to him, and he looked at it and he said, okay, we'll take these little herbs here. They look like rabbit droppings. And take this powder, put it on your foot, and put this, I forget what kind of oil it was, and wrap it and keep it dry. And so my foot after a month was totally fine. I was back. So I understood the power of natural medicine as a result of that. And as a sidelight, Dr. Mana said, oh, and by the way, it's leprosy. I didn't care what he called it, as long as he knew what to do with it. And so then I also, because of bad food in India, I also got hepatitis. So I've been through it, So that was the low-budget backpack traveler experience that I had. And so when patients come in, I know, various things that they're going through because I personally had a variety of these things happen to my body. So anyway, I worked for the National Cancer Institute for 4.5 years in Philadelphia after getting back from Asia, where I translated Japanese research on cancer. Then I moved out to California so I could practice acupuncture legally. So that was 30 years ago. So I've been practicing more than half my life. So in Chinese medicine, we talk a lot about energy flow in the body. So how many of you have ever been sitting on your chair and all of a sudden it started floating up? Yeah, your chair started floating up, or no? Why is that? Why is it your chair doesn't float? Why am I not like elevating? Gravity, exactly. Oh, the weight. Well, gravity is related to weight. Well, the Earth has a huge mass, and as a result of that, it has an energy that actually pulls up and pulls down on us. So that gravity actually moves upward, has its influence. And so the Chinese realize this too. So there are a lot of different energy flows in the universe that affect our bodies. So there's flow that goes from the center of the Earth out toward the universe, outward. And so that is more the Earth and the yin type of energy. Then we have energy if we look out at night, or even during the day we see the sun and the rays are coming down. Anyone like sunlight? Yeah. Anyone love just cloudy days one day after the next? Some people do. Some people love rain and that kind of weather. It's not my cup of tea. If it's too cloudy, I start to go, oh man, I'm feeling, what's going on? And then I realize, I go outside and oh, it's all cloudy. So lack of sunlight affects me also. And the full moon, anyone like up a little late with the full moon? So these are influences from the heavens. The moon and the sun coming downward through our body and having an influence in that way. So that's called yang energy, or energy from the heavens. So our body is influenced in that way. And in Chinese medicine, we talk about the different flows of energy in the body. There's actual pathways of electromagnetic flux that goes on that when we put needles in, they're like little radio antennas that help to fine-tune that energy so our organs work more properly. So this is a picture of some of the pathways of flow of energy in our body, and they have a directionality. We've actually tested with electrical devices, the Japanese and the Germans did that, to see if the traditional explanation that they flow in a particular direction is actually true. And it is. So we do have a directionality of current flow. So in order to boost our body's electromagnetic field, which is part of our immune system, there is a little exercise I'm going to teach you all, and it only takes maybe 15 seconds a day to do it. So if we raise our arms up like this, the front part, and if we turn our legs out so that this inner surface is pointing outward, this surface here and going on the palm side of the arms is yin energy. So it's actually going from the earth and out through our body and up to the stars. And then on the back side of this is heaven or yang energy. And that energy is going from the stars down through the fingertips, down the back of the legs, on the outside of the legs, and down to the feet. So our hands are also, when somebody touches you, do you feel warmth coming out of the hand? And does it ever electrify you?
Yes.
Sometimes, all right. If it's the right person, you're in the right mood, right? And so we have electrical energy coming out of our hands. And so we can actually use this electrical energy to support the natural directionality of the flow of the energy in our body. And this is something when parents come in with their children, I show them this whole massage routine that they can do on their newborns to help to improve the natural flow of energy so it boosts their immune system too. And for newborns, like your hand is the whole size of their abdomen or whatever. So you just use the side of your finger. So if you know any infants or grandchildren, whatever, then I especially recommend this at diaper changing time. Because they're lying there like this, you're changing the diaper, and very quickly you can do this whole routine on them, and it boosts their immune system. I've done it with my daughters and all the pediatric patients that I have, and they're still practicing it, which is great. So here it is. So this is your morning startup massage. So number one, put their left hand out and use your right hand. And you take the palm and you go from your armpit to your palm. Just go out and then you turn your hand over and you come back across the top of the arm to the shoulder. And so that's the top of the hand to the shoulder. Let's do it again. Armpit to the palm, top of the hand to the shoulder. Armpit to the palm, top of the hand to the shoulder. Okay, 3 times is a good number. You don't have to overdo it. You can do it 50 times. But I'm into efficiency. All right, and let's do it with the other arm. So you want to do both sides. Armpit to palm, then top of the hand to shoulder. All you have to remember is armpit to palm, and then you know it's the opposite side going back. Okay? So again, this is the yin side going up, from the earth up, and the yang going down. Now on our legs, it's from the inside of the leg. So it's from the arch to the groin. That is yin. So you go up from the earth there, hand on the outside and down the outside. So, okay, everyone lean over and do that. You can do both hands at once. Arch the groin, back the leg down. Arch the groin, back the leg down. Arch the groin, back the leg down. Now what you'll find is if you're waking up in the morning and you're feeling a little foggy, a little fuzzy, well, partly that's because your energy's often traveling around and it's not in your body, it's not concentrated in the body. So actually doing this, you'll all of a sudden like perk up. It'll help you wake up more quickly just by focusing the energy back in the body instead of being so expansive. Then our immune system has a lot of different organs and glands that work to support it and make it strong. One is called the thymus gland. And the thymus gland is located, if you feel your neck here, there's a real soft spot right above the sternum. So right below that is where the thymus gland is, and it produces T cells. Now if you've ever studied anything or know much about AIDS, when I first moved out to California in '83, the AIDS epidemic was just starting. And so I worked with some other people. We did a project on using acupuncture and herbs to help people with AIDS to boost their immune system. Now there's a lot of new drugs and retrovirals that really have prolonged people's lives and helped them to have a more normal life. But back then we really didn't have those. And so the thymus used to be thought by doctors that it was healthy and did something in childhood, but now actually we know that it influences us as adults as well. So there's a thing called the thymus thump that we can do to help stimulate the thymus gland and improve the immune system. And so that's just taking your fist and gently tapping it. So you do it maybe 15 times. And that helps to boost the immune system also. So with AIDS, the T cells are attacked. The T is thymus gland, T cells. So it comes from the thymus gland. So this is very helpful as well. Our abdomen also, if you go clockwise from the belly button, you do a large spiral. So you start at the belly button, go clockwise, and round up to the rib cage and down the pubic bone. That also helps to boost the digestive system, and 60% of our immune system is in the small intestine, large intestine. So we want to give attention to that too. Okay? So let's quickly review. So we got the arms, armpit to palm, right? And arch the groin. And we have thymus